Marco Dominic Gonzalez. This is video 2 of the VA. I'm just going to go off on a train of thought. And I covered my wounds or whatever on the first video. And where I left off is I used to be the legal clerk for the battalion before I became the Classified Material Control Center NCO. And now, you see a lot of page 11. But page 11 is a negative entry for a lot of the Marines that they can't afford to pay their bills. It's not that they don't want to pay their bills, but you're looking at a man that is sacrificing his whole life, and he gets a poverty wage, and it's an absolute disgrace. But this comes from the 80s, because a lot of the senior Marines say, "Well, we never made any money, man. We're not here for the money," but a lot of, and this is like the undercurrent of the conversation that happens at the office. Because remember, if you start complaining to the officers, you're done. The military is a very, it is, you're subordinate here. We don't want to hear any of that. If we wanted to give it to you, we'd issue it to you. That's the motto, and it's the truth. So I remember going through all the record books, and and you're looking at the Marines and you're saying, my gosh, man, but that guy has a wife and kids. He can't. I mean, my God, he's probably making a decision between a lot of things. And I always, you understand it, but it doesn't change. And it's something that never changed because they did a story in 2009, 2010. I was here on the credit companies were targeting a lot of the enlisted guys and sending those letters to their battalions, and then they get in trouble for that, man. And then trying to take them to court while they're overseas to where, but you don't need to. It doesn't matter if you're here or there, dude. Just like the experience I had, it's a kangaroo court. You're gonna lose. The judge, you can't do anything. Billions of dollars, absolutely, billions of dollars, and targeted military guy, 2009, 2010. I think that was also a 60-minute interview. But you start to understand the people in these committees that are Congress people. A lot of them are Republicans, and they go to the military, like when I was an enlisted man, saying, "Oh, we care." You care so much that you allow the men and women that fight and die to make a poverty wage. You reward the officer and not the enlisted man. Period. These are facts. You can just chronicle the facts. I read my post. I put it under Jesse Jackson's, Rachel Maddow, a long post on that. So I'm gonna chronicle a couple things. Then I'm coming to the VA. Now, understanding, guys, and you have to use your common sense, everybody. As much as when people do something bad and wrong, you always want to find someone to blame, of course. But it's just like the Lance Corporal who gets a DUI and then you blame the general for the DUI. It's not the general's fault that the Lance Corporal gets a DUI. It's the general's responsibility to have measures to deal with a situation. Once he knows this is, let's say DUIs would be an epidemic with Lance Corporals, he would have to address it, have the standing operating procedure of how to address it, how to address every situation, and that kind of thing. So you have to give this man, this secretary, once it's brought to your attention, you fix the problem. Telling, making statements, and I don't know the guy, I don't know, does he know or not? Of course, those are the questions you'd always want to ask, but he's like the general. He has to deal with the situation. You give him time to do that. It's when a situation is brought to your attention and you don't fix it, there is liability to who's in charge. Or who have you delegated the authority to? They're in charge. But it stops and starts somewhere. So to understand that, man, I mean, it's like when everyone plays the blame game, and it's natural to want to blame the top leader, because when you suffer, it's just saying it. If you know it and you don't fix it, it rests with you. It's your fault. Absolutely. But it has to be first acknowledged, to be known, and the procedures that come into play with how you fix that.